It's finished here at the LNER Community Stadium. York City 1, Altrincham 2. Manager Phil Parkinson joins me. Phil, a really tense game. Altrincham get the 3 points and continue to be a thorn in York's side.
Yeah, and hopefully we can continue in that vein because you never know, we might see him in the playoffs if we keep going the way we are. So we need to keep up that kind of form and them performance levels. I mean, I think that's the third time now they've lost here, so it takes a lot to come here and get anything. They're one of the best in the division at getting last-minute equalisers. So, we're really pleased with that.
It was Lewis Baines with his first goal. A little bit of scrapping defending by York at the back post. Was set pieces something you worked on in the week and identified that could be York's weakness?
We work on them every week. We just don't always execute them. So, good delivery in, and Bainesy got on the end of it, and that's what we've been talking about, lads landing on the ball. And I think that's an area for growth for us. Well, it certainly is, and we've done better with it probably the last couple of weeks.
And a couple of chances towards the end of the half, but Alty went into half-time 1-0 up. York City seemed to come out the faster of the two sides. Was that something you were disappointed by after they got their equaliser?
Well, they're at home and they're behind, aren't they? So they're going to do that. And we spoke about if they did hit us early and what that looks like and if they did change anything, because Adam and his team are really inventive with their formations, their rotations, their combinations. I think they're very similar to us, to be fair. But they've obviously got we've got really good players, but they've got a huge squad to pick from, so you can see the rotations in terms of personnel as well, not just what they do on the pitch. So it's kind of a bit of a lottery of what you're walking into, and as you just alluded to with the second half, they were always going to start fast. We had to weather the storm. Unfortunately, they scored, but it took some goal to beat us, didn't it? What a goal that was from Hunt. I know Isaac could be a little bit disappointed he's able to get away from him, but it took a very good finish, and then Rob showed his quality moments later, didn't he, saving a similar kind of shot. So you've got to do them things when you come to York City. It's a big stadium with big expectations, with a huge crowd. And our lads did themselves proud tonight.
You mentioned Rob a few times in the last few interviews we've done after games. Talk to me about him tonight, because he made some superb saves, especially in the second half.
He did, yeah, and that's what we needed, didn't we? So we felt we needed that bit of experience. Caleb's done great when he's come in, but he's a young boy, and for us to be in the position we are, we need that experience. But Caleb's there to push him and sort of come in if his levels drop. So Rob's been a really good signing so far. We just need to keep him fit. That's obviously the bit with Rob. He's not played loads of games, so if we can keep him fit, you've all seen what a good keeper we've got.
And the second half substitutions worked to an absolute T. Pasiek, Bickerstaff, Amaluza coming on as well. He got his goal in the second half. Talk to me about Amaluza, because he did get a little bit of stick after his performance on Saturday, but he's proved everyone wrong with that finish, hasn't he?
I don't know why. I thought he was brilliant on Saturday, so a little bit disappointed with a number of comments that come out of Saturday, but it is what it is. It comes with the territory. These lads have been exceptional. Justin's been really, really good for us since he's come back. Everyone's got to remember he's come back from a long-term layoff, and he's played a big part. And the reason I didn't start him tonight is because he put such a big shift in at the weekend. So yeah, we looked after him, and as you said, the subs really paid dividends, because we went with a lot of pace, and we could have gone more defensive. We could have gone with another midfielder in there and settled for the draw, but we wanted the win, and we got our just desserts for that.
And then towards the latter stages of the second half, Alty had to dig deep, brilliant defensive work from the whole back four. Someone I wanted to pick out in particular, Jake Cooper, who's come in today. He only came on as a substitute on Saturday. He was brilliant this evening.
I'm so glad you brought him up, because I was gonna give him a mention anyway. We've just said it in there. He epitomised everything that we do here in terms of he could have been really upset we're not playing. He was a starter last season. He had the number 5 jersey this time. He was expected to start, and he has had a really tough season. One with how he started with his form, and then he's got back in, then he gets an injury, then Charlie comes in, does exceptionally well, and Jake's had to wait a very long time. And when you don't play for that long, are you going to be as focused? Is your fitness going to be there? Your sharpness going to be there? Your commitment? And Jake answers all them questions with that performance tonight.
And you mentioned someone else who's coming back into the starting 11 this evening, Isaac Marriott. Great to have him back, isn't it?
Superb. We needed Isaac tonight, didn't we? You come to York and you need that energy, and he gives us something different to Tom and Ozzy. Tom and Ozzy probably don't get enough credit for they've been the mainstay in there. They've held us together at times, but Isaac gives us that tenacity, that energy, and so does George Wilson, who's back in training now, by the way. So we're getting some really key players in vital areas. So hopefully we can get a few of them back. But Isaac, absolutely right to mention him. He's an absolute energizer bunny, isn't he? He just keeps going, and he's only going to get better and better as long as he stays fit, which is the bit that we need to do with him. We've got to be careful. That's why I brought him off. He wasn't feeling anything, but a bit like Justin, being really careful with him.
And another big 3 points in continuing the away form in the National League. Another away trip to Southend on Saturday. It's always going to be a tough one, that, isn't it?
It's going to be a massive game for us because that's one of the toughest places we go. It's one of the, if not the longest journey we do, and it feels like a big slog every time we go there. Kev sets his teams up brilliantly. He's a top manager. He's somebody we firstly competitive with. As much as I'm giving him compliments, I'm sure we'll be each other's throats at the weekend. But he's superb at what he does, and his teams are a reflection of him as a player as well. He was gritty as a player. Really good player. So we're going to have to be right on it to get anything at Southend, but getting that win tonight sets us up nicely because probably nobody would have expected us to come here and get a win, even though we beat them at our place, because they're in such good form at home, and they've been picking up vital points along the way, even when they've not been playing at the very best, which is a sign of a very good team. But we've come here and done what we've needed to do, and we just need to keep going now.
And finally, over 140 Altrincham fans here tonight. Another brilliant away attendance. They were in fine voice all evening.
Yeah, they've been great. Our away support has been superb. So yeah, really pleased with how they've turned up tonight.